I couldn't really explain that I wanted to become a rich barber. What is a rich barber? Who is a rich barber? If I tried to explain that before I did it, I might not have made the decision. You don't want to be on your deathbed and be like, I should have just bought that plane ticket, moved to California. Who knows? I might have met Chuka and became a rich barber. The world is conspiring to give you all of your hopes and dreams. I truly believe that. So make that choice. A mid fade, we got the part in there with the comb over on top. Starting out with my number 3 guard on my Apprentice Masters. A big reason why I like to take down that bulk first, it's really just gonna help me to understand what I'm getting ready and getting myself into. One thing to keep in mind with this fade is that it's really a gradual transition. So we're just gonna be removing weight. This whole time, we're increasing from a stubble at the very bottom, all the way to a number 3 guard on the top, and then connecting to the length at the top. And it's Jfadeit, bringing you guys this mid-fade comb over. Now I have my Apprentice T outliner trimmer, and this is my first step right here. What I'm gonna do is create this guideline. So I start on both sides, connect it into the back, and the guidelines, the framework of this fade, just like a home has a strong foundation, a great fade is gonna have these clean, nice guidelines. And guidelines, they're just about an inch or maybe 75% of an inch thick. As we move out through this haircut, I'll show you guys that next. Just make sure you hold that ear out of the way and really detail it. There's small things that don't seem like a big deal until you look at the end result of a haircut. When it comes together, it's just like the masterpiece of a fade. It really just consists of a million small steps. That's my Bronze Series 9 shaver. The next step is to go ahead and completely bald out this first guideline. And what I like about the Bronze Series 9 is that it really does take down a longer length of hair. So if we wouldn't have even used the trimmer, the Apprentice trimmer, to continue balding it out, it still would have ate up all those hairs. Like, it's amazing how much hair it takes down. And the same tool you could use for this process is an Apprentice Profile shaver, as well as the Wall Profile shaver. Any shaver you have, just make sure that we can go ahead and completely bald out this bottom guideline. That's my Apprentice Fade Master. The lever is all the way open. So when I say lever open, that just means the lever is all the way open. The teeth and the blade on the clipper is all the way separated. And I'm gonna go up about 75% of an inch, close to about 1 inch. Depending on how much room the client has and what type of fade you're doing is how thick you'll make your guidelines. So if this were to be like a high fade, we would go ahead and make those guidelines, even thicker if we needed to. But since this is a mid fade, we want to make sure that we don't exceed that 1 inch mark. I'm detailing it out, making sure I have those consistent strokes all the way around the hair. Now I have the Apprentice Masters, and the lever is open. The blade on the Apprentice Masters is actually much different than the Apprentice Fade Master. So it's a very similar clipper, but a completely different blade. The Fade Master blade is much thinner, so it's easier to take out that bald line. Now the Apprentice Masters is a much thicker blade. So whenever you want to get those very tight, detailed, like aggressive strokes, and you want to get those hairs at the very bottom that are just hard to get with, say, something like a magic clip or any like Wall Senior, something that won't catch those hairs, Apprentice Fade Master, the fade blade is just so thin that it will take any of those hairs, it'll attack those with no problems. So that's why I like to start my fades out with the Fade Master, just to get it from bald to that first Apprentice Master lever open. It's like a combination of just knowing your steps, knowing your guidelines, understanding the length of hair that you're cutting, understanding the texture of hair, and just really getting that maximum of detail. So this is what's going to happen in your guys' journey. As you're cutting hair, you're going to notice your clients, they might have just had bedhead, they might have just woke up where they slept in their hair in a different way, and the hair is poking in all different directions. So I stopped, I went ahead and just took care of this right off the bat when I noticed it by grabbing a hot towel, and I'm going to go ahead and brush down the hair. I'm using a hot towel plus the brush brushing down method with the blow dryer. And this is really just going to help me kind of tame and train that hair. If you're using the Apprentice Masters, there is no 1.5 guard for the Apprentice clipper brand. That's simply because the lever on the steel blade and the cutting blade on the then really comb through it. One thing I've learned, when you're taking down a good amount of length on the top of the hair, and you want to make sure that it's even, and one thing I learned from Daniel Deluxe in the barbershop, the Rich Barber Hair Studio, is to make sure that middle section is not larger than the width of your comb. So that way you're not collecting hair from both sides. You really want to just focus on this middle section of the hair. I'll go ahead and use that middle guideline, how we created that foundation. I'll connect it to the right side, and then I'm going to continue using that first guideline and then cutting off the hair that's above the guideline. And the definition of a cross check is to go from side to side compared to going front to back. So if I started out going from the front to the back, creating guidelines and then evening it out, now I'm going to do the exact same thing, cross-checking my work from side to side. And you'll notice where there's still hairs that you didn't catch. If you want it to connect in a much cleaner and easier way, go ahead and thin it out. And what the thinning shears does is it takes out about 50% of the hairs that a normal shear would take out. Now I have a flat top comb. This is a comb that has much wider teeth. So you notice how I talked about the comb that was white and I used it for blending. This comb is for clipper and scissor over comb. So this is really going to help me to just connect the fade, the very top of the fade, the darkness where we use a number 3 guard. It's going to help me connect that into the length on the top. One of the most important things I learned with fading and using like clipper over comb and scissor over comb is the angle of the comb, making sure that you kind of push in towards the hair, but then you're also pulling away at the same time. Once I line that up, I'm going to go ahead and move into the part, and I will show you guys exactly how to detail the part, and then we'll go with the straight razor, and that's just going to help you get even more detail. The limited edition exclusive Rich Barber razor. The Persona blades is my favorite blade. I've tried the Astras. I don't know if you guys have tried the Derby razor blades. I used to buy those in bulk. Now we're just going to continue to detail it out. This is the 4th quarter pressure, making sure that you don't skip any steps and you get left with this whole masterpiece of a fade. Jfadeit on Instagram, as well as my YouTube channel. You guys can reach out to me, ask me any questions that you might have, or just any feedback. I'm going to share with you guys how I got into a shop, made more income without going to a barber college. When I wanted to do this, it was overwhelming. I was like, how am I going to figure this out? So the link is in the description. What to watch out for, what to say to the shop owners, everything you need to know, and go ahead and click that link and you'll get access to that. To style the hair, I grabbed my beach spray. That is Deluxe Styling Beach Spray. It's like a sea salt texture spray. So what this is going to do is it avoids any heat damage from the blow dryer. So this is one thing you do not want to skip out on. Whenever a client is constantly blow drying their hair, it's very easy to damage someone's hair if you have a high heat temperature blow dryer and you're constantly blow drying their hair. Now we can grab Dunn's butter or just any type of pomade you might have and go ahead and hold that product in place. What I like about the Dunn's butter is it's a very thick, like a waxy, pasty type of product. So it's not a cream paste, it's more of a thicker texture, right? And what this does is it really just holds someone with some thick hair like this, it's gonna hold it in place. And shout out to all of you guys that watched this whole video. Killed this cut. I love the result. I love the fact you guys stuck around to the end. I appreciate the opportunity to bring this to you guys. This is the end result. Make sure you reach out to me with any feedback, and I'm out.